Hello, and welcome to my ITSL game versus Przemek, who I will be facing as the USA. As it's the ITSL game, we'll have 60 minutes per side. And what we have here, for starters, is not really a great hand. Asia is annoying for the USA. At least I can control the timing, but that's not a great either way. NATO is good, but that's the only good card. Comic-Con is acceptable, Olympic Games underwhelming, Formosan underwhelming, Nasser bad. No good headlines either. Very bad hand if perched. No great events. Well, okay, I guess we could try going for Europe scoring in the headline, but if that's the case, I will surely get a domination before the game begins. I mean, before the turn 1 starts. So, like, one idea is going for this and just dropping Europe. However, that's very risky, especially without any EU related events. So I think I will just go for a 4-2. I don't think I have enough ops to justify that, right? I cannot really spend free in France just like that. Okay, let's just be a little bit greedy, but not unreasonably so. Let's go for a 3-3-2 and headline captured Nazis. It's a reasonable defector setup, so maybe it will deter him from headlining something very scary. It requires only one op more of investment to gain Europe domination. It's a little bit vulnerable in Italy, but that's the name of the game. And it gives me a decent chance of getting Europe domination turn 1, unlike going for a 4-4-2. Sozgovs are pretty fucking tragic. I hope he doesn't have duck and cover, that would be incredibly unlucky. However, this means that not headlining Europe was a correct decision. I mean, it doesn't mean that it was correct, but it means that it turned out to be beneficial to me this time. Okay, please miss. Roll a1, I beg you. Ah, of course. Alright, so the game is going horribly thus far. I don't think there is much to be done about this. Let's just take France before he does anything with it and take Pakistan, since I want to enter Iran one way or another as soon as possible. Hopefully if he rolls for Pakistan, his roll is not as good as this one. Alright, he immediately goes for Europe domination, which is somewhat understandable. Having that said, I don't think I can do anything with it. I'm way too poor and options are very limited. So I guess the best I can do is just solidifying my position in Asia, since neither of us is scoring Middle East this turn, looks like it. I am certainly not, and he doesn't look interested in it whatsoever. So I guess the best I can do is just focusing on the only region that I'm going to score and that I can actually influence in a significant manner, unlike Europe. Of course, I'm not playing around blockade on turn 1 with hand this incredibly weak. I don't think it's reasonable to expect me to hold a 3-up, especially with 2 scorings in hand that I need to manage. Right now it's just another gamble, sort of. I'm expecting him to coup Pakistan. I'm not saying that he's necessarily going to do it, but he obviously sees the problem with Asia being dominated by me at this point. So there are 2 main ways to address that, going Pakistan or taking South Korea. He ignored it, which I will absolutely use to my advantage, dropping Asia. It also looks like his hand isn't crazy strong, which is really nice to see. That means that despite my hand being really shitty, his advantage over me is still not that huge. I mean, it's still significant, but that's due to a 6 on the die, not to his hand. He had Korean War, okay. And that's another good roll for him. It's not good enough to stop me from retaking Iran. He would need to have rolled at least 1 more than that. It's enough to stop me from going to Malaysia though, while taking Iran, which is sort of significant itself, because if he has Decol or Vietnam for some reason, he just got himself free Thailand, which is huge for him. However, I once again, I don't have assets to play around everything, so I will just happily assume he doesn't have Decol and hope to be proven right. Alright. He rolls A4 again, obviously. And he got Containment and Marshall, both cards that would absolutely help me out if I got any of those, which was not the case. Well, I think I should go to Malaysia, but I'm playing 3-ups more this turn, and I want to go Malaysia, Iran, Lebanon, and West Germany, which is of course undoable mathematically. So I have to give something up. Lebanon is crucial because Suez and Arab Israeli. Iran is a very important card in the only unscored region except Europe, which will be dropped like in a second. Malaysia is crucial because Thailand and West Germany is not only a battleground but also an immediate point. There's no way I'm saving Europe. I could also go Colombia, but I think that's a pipe dream. I don't need to enter Egypt yet. Nasser is still in my hand. Sure, I will... No, not that. I will just take Iran and drop Europe. I would love to play Formosan before Europe, but I believe that he's going to just give me containment right now, and I really wouldn't like that going to waste. So I believe this is the correct course of action. Of course, the question remains, do I play Formosan for ups, or do I space Nasser? With Formosan for ups, I would get the 3 ups that I wanted for Lebanon, Germany and Malaysia, but of course now it doesn't matter anymore because Europe is already down. I could go for Lebanon plus Egypt instead, but it kind of looks like he may use containment to break Iran or take Lebanon or take Saudi anyway, and all of those plays make my course of action not that reasonable. So I guess I guess it just depends on what he's going to do. Okay, he does all of that partly. I think I will just take Egypt and go to Malaysia then. I'm not giving up free access to Libya that easily. No 4-ups and no purge specifically. This means that his better is likely 10 times better than mine. I also got blockade, which is unhandable. It's like I cannot manage it if I get purged. Like there's no way. Also no D cards as well, so we may see one of those. Or two of those, and one of those in headline if he got defectors because I didn't get those either. I guess my best shot with, like, if I want to survive this turn is just headlining Fiverr plan and hoping to hit D-style or Decol at least. Honestly, I feel like this hand is terrible news for me. Middle Eastern scoring isn't that exciting, and it makes Cambridge 5 even worse than it already was, especially if I get purged. The only thing about hand this bad is that 5-year plan can actually hit something useful because he got, like, he may have purged, D-style, Decol, US Japan, like nuclear test ban, Indo-Pakistani, or maybe defectors. I could hit those in the headline phase, and I know for a fact he has Marshall as well, which would be a huge hit if I could get it. So I think this is a reasonable call, especially like considering the fact that I get no other good headline. The only other option was probably Middle East scoring. However, I think I could fight for it. Of course I get purged. That was pretty obvious. Okay, I steal one of his 4-ups, because we know that he had at least 3, Purge, Japan and Marshall. He may also have the 4th one, nuclear test ban. We'll see that in a minute. Alright, another great roll for my opponent. And another time where I cannot do shit about that. I could take Thailand now to defend against Decol. I just wonder if I care about that. If I don't drop Middle East now... Okay, no, if I don't drop it now, he's getting a domination there. Let's play around something. Like, maybe he didn't get it. Let's hope he didn't get it. Maybe he didn't get Decol. If he got it, then, like, too bad. So I guess I'm holding blockade because I cannot do shit about it. I'm playing Truman as AR6 probably because I don't want to encourage him to do anything silly before the last action round. Nasser can be given because due to his very strong rolls, he's already in Egypt/Libya, so the harm is kind of mitigated by the fact that situation is already terrible. Cambridge 5 is a useless one-up, but at least it's like harmless when it comes to the event part. NORAD and European unrest are just 2-ups. That gives me like 7-ups to... Okay, of course. 7-ups to play with. I guess I will start with putting 2 into Thailand, which of course is not enough to take it, but I will at least force a response. If he gives up China fighting for it, then that's probably the best I could hope for. It's not like I could create an opportunity myself with this hand, so at least I will take China if he gives it up. Unless he has a playable 3-up or 4-up. Of course, D-style is out there, but there's also duck and cover with UN, which would require him to skip an action round at least. There's Marshall he has, with UN potentially, if he's really lucky. There is D-style, but he wants to play that for an event, of course. So maybe his options are really limited. Maybe he doesn't have a playable 3-up, or he has, but it's D-style and he wants to event it, or he doesn't want to skip an action round, so he cannot use anything freely with you, and so he wants to even the China card anyway. Like, and don't get me wrong, like playing the China card here is absolutely fine. It's not like it's not like a problem for him, especially with CIA being gone. But I guess that's the very least I can hope for with this hand. Well, probably the very most, not the very least, but still. Yeah, as expected. Okay, interestingly, he decides to give up Laos. I guess I will take it then. Maybe not that. Let's use Cambridge. Cambridge is more neutral. It gives up less information because he already knows I cannot have any scorings. So that doesn't change much, and revealing that I have Nasser is potentially useful for him. Not a big deal, but still a detail. Of course. That's to be expected. Okay, I think I need to take a risk. So like, yeah, I think this is on average probably good for me. He may have distal, we don't know that. His plays don't necessarily indicate that he doesn't. He has some obligations because he kind of needs to exit Angola, probably take Algeria at some point, and absolutely overprotect Thailand, so hitting now is probably a good moment. And also, I at least get 2 VPs from Melops if he goes. If he doesn't and he distals instead, then I'm forcing him to first of all use distal immediately and second of all take Venezuela instead of spreading as much as possible. So I think this has to be correct. Like, the obvious downside is that my hand is so shit that I'm probably losing most of the cores, but the core this turn won't last long. It will be like 2 moves at most. So it's kinda not obvious what happens next, because like even if he wins, he may not have the time to enter Venezuela. And as we can see, it's not even obvious if he wants to do that, which means that we get to enter Venezuela, which is not a huge win, and it's not even necessarily a great thing. But if I get to expand to Brazil, which I probably will, that will be on average probably beneficial to my gameplay, especially in the mid-war. The problem is, of course, that this is granting him an additional coup target in a region that he didn't have access to previously. However, it's not necessarily that good for him, because there's always a chance of me drawing duck and cover, and also those are two stability battlegrounds, which means that he may not succeed, especially if he gets a bad hand for a change, which I'm not hoping for realistically, but you know, potentially that could happen at some point. Alright, as I expected, he's doing all the chores that he had to do. Taking Turkey is not necessarily worthwhile now, since it doesn't equalize Europe. I cannot change anything in Asia, Europe, or Middle East. So the question is, do I go for Brazil or Venezuela? And I think Brazil is better. Brazil is better if he gets distal. If he doesn't get distal, then that's good anyway. So. Of course he did get distal indeed. He got Indo-Pakistani war as well. He got duck and cover too. So yeah, everything's going basically as good as it's as good as it gets. UN terrible in my hand because blockade and the goal. So I'm eventing blockade anyway. So I'm probably giving China up. But I don't even have a good UN target. Like, this is so shit. It's a joke. Nuclear test ban is the only like good news from this hand. Since he knows I have defectors, he's not gonna headline distal, so let's snipe it with 5-year plan. If I hit duck and cover, that's probably decent too. He's probably going to event in the Pakistani war, so let's assume he misses. Let's snipe distal and be done with it. I don't know. That's probably the best I can do. Headlining defectors is not even good when he knows you have them. Usually, of course, there are exceptions, but I don't think this is one of those. If he headlines distal knowing I have defectors, I'm gonna lose my mind, by the way. I don't think he's gonna do that. That would be like insanity, but if he did, okay. Distal? Nope, of course not. Wow, that was not a 4. That's surprising. Okay, I guess he's going for Brazil, so let's hope that he misses. That's very important right now. Technically, he didn't get access, but also I cannot enter fucking Uruguay, so it's still not great. Okay, so I'm using China to break Korea this turn, right? And I'm holding UN. That's probably the best like I can do now. So, okay, I can realign him out of Egypt. I have good secondary. So let's equalize Europe, so he has to sweat a little bit if he wants to get a domination there. And let's take Brazil before he gets any silly thoughts about distalling into it. I feel like that has to be correct. China is our emergency foreign in this case. I'm not gonna hesitate before using it. However, it could be nice to just use it in North Korea and get that extra up from the Asia bonus. However, this will depend on how this turn goes, because it's gonna be super swingy for sure. Terrible game so far. Unreasonable stuff happening. At least he may have some problems with his hand. I mean, okay, so those are not really problems, but technically he has to space duck and cover or he loses. Like there's mathematically no other way, so he does that. But like so like maybe he redrew NORAD, in which case I will get NORAD. That's like a low probability but potentially high payoff scenario that could be happening right now. And other than that, I don't really see it. Alright, that's all pretty obvious and standard. Since he didn't even access Panama, I'll just spread everywhere. I want to be really aggressive if it's possible. Of course, I still need to get mill-ups, so if I can set up realignments, that will be a really important benefit for my plays. Of course, he can just retake Argentina, he kind of has to grab it right now. I doubt he will take Mexico, so I could theoretically just grab it. However, I think it may be even better to just go for North Korea right away. Alright, that's reasonable. Let's keep piling in Benelux. I guess so. I could put one into France and give up the goal. With Suez gone especially. And then UN with blockade is not that bad. And I don't have to use China. The problem is that I kind of have to use China anyway. So I don't think I care. Yeah, I don't think I care. I want to use China. I need to get some dominations growing, like, if I want to survive this game. And since he now seems to be preoccupied by distal management, and of course he got the scoring, but he has a domination force, so yeah, good job. But he has stuff to do, he needs to space duck and cover, his other card is forced, so like maybe he has some problems. Taking Korea looks very free, very manageable here. I'm not sure if I want to overprotect Korea. I don't even feel like that's that necessary. What is he thinking? Yeah, exactly. Like you have to space duck and cover now. Like, what was even the other option? Yeah, since I don't have two playable 2-ups, unless I want to hold blockade, I will just. I will just grab Panama to get some presence in Central in case it comes early. Of course, same would be nice in Africa, but I'm kind of hoping for nuclear subs, to be honest. And Romania. That's fine, I can actually easily equalize that thanks to the Benelux play. And put another one into Mexico. He's preventing me from breaking Argentina, which is, I guess, fine for him. Situation's still terrible. A bad scoring, not a single 3-up literally. Useless puppet governments, inactive kitchen. 4 bad 2-up red events. And 1 good card in form of grain sales. Okay. Basically the game continues as it was going so far. Grain sales is the only good card here. Funnily enough, I have like 5 2-ups to give him if he uses Missile Envy, and like none of them are even like bad for him. I guess the best I could do is just, I don't know, give him Korean War, I suppose. It's not even beneficial to me. Which is kind of silly. Okay, maybe it's not that uncommon. I'm mainly thinking about Olympic Games, but to be honest, it's like one card. Maybe it's not that significant actually. So like puppets are pretty fucking bad. Yeah, I don't even think I'm eventing puppets here. I'm surely not eventing kitchen because like it's never gonna happen. Europe I will probably be able to drop for nothing. Depending on luck, I could try spacing twice. With that, we'll have to see how it goes. I don't think I'm giving Liberation. I may give South African Unrest, but that's still bad. Willy Brandt is surprisingly annoying. Korean War looks relatively free. Okay, Quagmire is pretty fucking annoying, but that's actually not the worst since I have fuel and I can take a coup anyway. It just gives him time and tempo, that's annoying. Yusori is a really bad card to get because I would prefer him to be forced to space it with the amount of cards that are in the deck. Like I would prefer to take something useful for him away. Since we got a 3-up, I guess we'll use it to coup. And it will probably be Angola. There's no other target that's better than that. That's a really low roll, but it's fine. In Angola it was enough. The problem with it is that if he uses South African Unrest, if I give it to him to put 2 into Angola, then he can use another card to flip it over, because like if I rolled at least a 4 that wouldn't be the case, but here we are. So that makes me really reluctant when it comes to giving him South African Unrest. Maybe I will still try spacing twice despite being quagmired. However, that of course depends on how my quagmire rolls go, because you never know with those, obviously. Now let's see where his priorities lie. I wouldn't even be that, like, surprised if he either jumped North Korea with China now, or he entered Afghanistan to take Pakistan over with China. That would probably be a pretty reasonable thing to do. You guys have 3-ups? That's so unfair. Oh, that's my first 6 of the game, I believe. That's very surprising. Some of this looks obviously like an Africa scoring. Maybe South America too, but this looks very much like an Africa scoring situation. Yeah, he doesn't need to hurry with that, of course. Oh, that's my second 6 in this game. Damn. Can I get a third one? That's my third 6 in the game. All in the row. Damn. So many 6s in the row. That's incredible. Oh. Come on, I really wanted to see the fourth one there. God damn it. Well, unlucky, only 3 sixes in a row. That's so unfair. So what now, do you have Muslim? I'm really curious. Completely normal and not suspicious behavior, by the way. Sure. He used... Normally I don't like falling for such bluffs, but if he used the China card for it, he may actually have it, so let's play around it, let's say. I'm also really against playing against, like, low probability, risky situations when you are insanely behind, as I am. But in this case, it looks like it's pretty obvious what's happening. I still may be wrong, of course. Maybe he has Nixon, but at this point, would he even give me 2 VPs from Nixon? I'm not sure. Or maybe he wants to play cultural. Maybe he has a really bad hand, but he didn't even space once, so that doesn't add up. So yeah, I will take the risk. I will break Mexico. I mean, I'm taking the risk either way, but I will break Mexico and drop Europe scoring as my last card. This is also kind of better if I get Kennedy now, but I don't really understand this play, I'm afraid. It's also kind of apparent that he doesn't actually have it due to the time he's taking to think about his move, so I was apparently wrong, but why would he use the China card for that then? That's pretty weird. Oh, okay. Okay, that's another shitty hand. It's not as bad as the previous one, but that's a really low bar. It has only semi-useful events, not really. No game changers, like no Purge, no Junta, no Brush, no ABM, no Salt, no Missile Envy. Kennedy is in a really terrible spot here because my hand is just average enough so that it doesn't really change much, but also it's not good enough for it to like be a good hold card. Like it's just a pile of shit. I would need to give up China to give him cultural. Muslim is good honestly, but only because I have UN, And if he has missile envy, which is pretty probable, then it's shit again. There's just nothing to be done with this hand. Like, Camp David is so random here. Truman is completely useless. Bear Trap is out of place as well, especially with Africa's card. Grain sales gone, but that's like the only two up, and like colonials are still there. Voice is still there. Nuclear subs even. I could event Ask Not and drop like everything but Bear Trap. Maybe I should just Kennedy. But like, why would I... This is so disgusting, honestly. I guess I'm holding Kennedy if I survive this turn. Sure, so let's say... I really don't want to Bear Trap him. But if I'm holding Kennedy... Oh my god, this is incredible. So maybe it's Latin American Death Squads? This looks like trolling. This sounds like trolling. I cannot. Sure, if he has Junta, then I guess that's good. Sure, let's... Chai is gone. So maybe fighting for Cuba by cooing stuff is not that terrible of an idea. So that's kind of counterintuitive. But Latin is a good headline because Chai is gone, but in a way I think that's the case. I wonder what scorings he have. What scorings he has. Like he doesn't necessarily need to have any, especially after headlining Cambridge, but that would be pretty counterintuitive with 4 of those still in the deck. Half of those are Americas, which are really hard to... Well, fucking course he had Purge, sure. Yeah, good one. Sure. Well, this doesn't technically create any threats. Not immediately, so let's immediately get rid of the China card. Let's make cultural a harmless card, and now if I get rid of Muslim with UN, I can give him cultural for his missile envy. That's very risky. Yeah, unless that happens, then I guess it's not my bad. Oh, sure, I guess that is kind of average anyway. Oh, of course. I would be shocked if he didn't have it. Another 4 upgrade. I need to get Melops, so I'm just gonna coup here. He created 2 threats anyway, and he can capitalize on only one of those anyway. So let's see if he takes Indonesia or coups Guatemala. Nothing spectacular, but I mean, on average, getting rid of Central is probably okay. I don't even know if I want to bird trap him. Like, the plan was to get purge, but okay, sure. Maybe he rolls a 5 or 6 like I did, like 3 times in a row, and then I can salt for purge and then purge him. Maybe that's the play. It could happen. Okay, pretty whatever. Yeah, no salt and no Forbes, including no ABM. Alright. Junta is of course the good card in this hand. Colonials are not terrible. Alliance is probably pretty okay, especially if I get to fight for another battleground. Missile Envy probably the best card to headline, even though Junta is here. With situation this tense in Central, Junta will always be good, and Missile Envy is especially useful when it comes to him being in Bear Trap, and also for like, yeah, there are no blue 4-ups he can give me, so I'm basically guaranteed to get ABM if he has it, and if he doesn't, then I get to have one of his 3-ups and he's forced to discard Missile Envy immediately, which is fine. Of course, the best scoring, which is Asia scoring, is absent, so if he doesn't have it, it's gonna be missing for the reshuffle, which would be like the saddest thing ever. Honestly, I think... Oh, I cannot coup, of course, because... yeah, because we will bury you. And I cannot really break Argentina, so I think I'm just going to break Mexico instead. Well, that doesn't really make much sense, does it now? Unless it does. There's just not a lot I can fight for on this map. Central is scored, but like... what else am I gonna do? Going for Mexico isn't that bad because Alliance is still reliant on me getting those battlegrounds, so it's not a waste. Of course he's immediately fucking out, but like... we all knew this was gonna happen, let's be honest. So... I guess now it's a good time to take that. OPEC still doesn't end the game on the spot, so let's not worry about it too much. If he needs to break any of the Koreas, he can break it, so I don't care. Let's set up Southeast Asia scoring a bit better. I could Kennedy it, but I think I want to drop it this turn. Especially with colonials in my hand, it's kind of a useful card to temporarily get an upper hand there if he gets caught off guard by any chance. Never mind. So I guess I at least get to respond to that without using my precious 3-ups. I will set up Algeria realignments, not necessarily because I want to do that, but because there is no good use of Junta in South America only, so I'll probably use Junta to break Chile and coup Haiti to encourage him to coup. Of course he will decline and retake his South America domination back, but then I will get to realign and get some value out of it. But that will happen just in a second before I lose to OPEC. I will event Alliance for Progress so that OPEC doesn't end the game. Maybe it would be better for all of us to just let that happen, but let's say I will I will keep playing. This is of course winnable, if he has Asia especially. If he has Asia, it's perfectly fine. I mean, it's not perfectly fine, but it's perfectly playable at least. If he doesn't have Asia, it's really bad. But if he has Asia, that would be... I mean, that wouldn't be the only reason, it's like nothing certain, of course. But if he had Asia, that would completely explain why he's so insistent on pushing for the victory this turn. Because if I was on his place, I would really do anything to avoid dropping Asia for like 10 points or... yeah, 10. That's crazy unlucky if he doesn't have it. That's fucking insane. I'm really tempted to just Kennedy at this point. Like, there are so many good cards I could get. I mean, Voice, Nixon, Asia, of course, Arms Race, probably, Salt, ABM. Never mind, I couldn't get Salt. Okay, he's back for OPEC. Why though? You cannot end the game. Regardless. I will get that domination there. Interesting, like, are you just gonna drop it back for, like, 3 VPs again? I don't get this play. This kind of suggests that he doesn't fucking have Asia, which is ridiculous. Can we avoid the shuffle? We're drawing to 9. So he will get... No, there is no way we can avoid that. Fuck, man. That's so unfair. This game is so fucking unfair. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, let's... Well, this will never happen. I guess I could go for Vietnam. Yeah, of course he didn't have it. And he got IBM. And Arms Race. On the other hand, I got Summit, so I guess I can't really complain. And he got Voice too. The only good news is that he got OAS, I guess. Fucking ridiculous. How good is NORAD headline? It cannot really be that bad. I'm probably using Kennedy because that's another fucking shitty hand for no fucking reason at all. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I'm never Kennedying NORAD away, so I guess I could just as well headline it. Quagmire is not getting back to the game, and yeah, he got that, of course. Unbelievable stuff. Jesus. Sure. I have no hopes to take Poland, so yeah, I'm not fighting for Europe domination, especially with Warsaw in the deck, so I can just throw everything the fuck out, except Nixon and nuclear test ban, perhaps. Fucking Christ! Are you joking? Like, what the fuck is this supposed to be? Like, unserious, completely unserious. Sure. Yeah, right. Okay, but still not enough for me to dominate Europe, like, even after that, so... I guess I don't care about Poland. I think putting one into Algeria should probably be fine. I don't have China, so Thailand doesn't matter at all. Yeah, sure, let's go for Algeria here. This way my realignments are better, I can take it easier. And let's just throw everything the fuck away. That's a bit better, I guess. Not a lot better, like still not a single fucking 4-up. One playable 3-up that I probably want to hold. Suez Crisis, a great card. Colonials are fine probably, but since he overprotected everything, it's not even that good. Just an overall tragedy. I guess Suez Crisis is bearable since, like, Europe got dropped and it will not be scored until potential final scoring if I survive till then. So I suppose it's not that harmful. He has arms race, so he can use it now. Yeah, nice ABM. Hey, he didn't roll a 4 or higher. That's a fucking insanely lucky position for me. Let's go. I'm not letting you play the China card this turn, but yeah, absolutely not. So let's get that before I start rolling with nuclear subs, I guess. Let's see. He has one card I don't know. I'm gonna lose my mind if he redrew Salt again. But I don't believe that. There is no way that happened. Yeah, of course we knew that. Yeah, let's roll for Nigeria. Great roll, great roll, great roll. Now I can take it with colonials though, so that's some kind of a progress, I guess. Can you like drop Asia, please? He withdrew that? Wait, no, did he have that? Oh, okay. He was holding that? Okay, he was okay. I'm blind, I'm stupid. Okay, so he was holding that. So he has Asia, OAS and voice, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so like there's not much he can do. Not really. So I guess I can just keep going. So yeah, I will give up Suez Crisis. I'm absolutely holding on to East European unrest because maybe the best I can do in this game is get the Europe control. I have no idea how, by the way, with his rolling a fucking 6 in Italy and having that double overprotected, then that may be really hard, but I think it's worth trying. There could be like Brush War maybe, there could be Tear Down This Wall. So with a 6 on the die after Chernobyl, I guess. Those scenarios are absolutely not gonna happen, by the way, but okay, at least those rolls were not that bad. I'm still in Wargames territory, but a bit closer being safe. Yeah, of course. Oh, let's just put valves in efficiently. This is a fucking disgrace. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for complaining, but I cannot believe this game. This is unreasonable. Fucking lone gunman back. Are you joking? Like, yeah, sure. My bad. I guess I was supposed to be holding Kennedy this whole fucking time. What a joke. Iran Iraq war is fine if it hits, and flower power is not in play, so I guess that's an option. East European unrest is like completely useless for now because it has no support whatsoever, nothing to follow it up with. Iron Lady useless as always. North Sea Oil even more useless than usually. Okay. Okay, that's a potentially useful card that I got rid of. That's fine, actually. That makes its European Unrest a little bit better. Still not good, but a little better. Liberation has to go to space, probably, but Iranian hostage crisis has to go to space, absolutely. That's like first, no question. So I guess I could potentially use Liberation for ups if I need to. Okay, Fiddle is gone for good. A lot of things I could do here. I guess I will take France to set up a better secondary target. And let's realign Cuba now that Fiddle is gone. And Algeria. Okay, he just spaced? That's really weird. Like, this whole board is so tense. How did he manage to just space anything? I don't get it. Sure, let's get Millips. Nope. I wasn't really expecting anything else, but I thought that was worth a try. Yeah, nothing special here. Space. Okay, at least that's a success. Let's see if he has one small step again. No, okay. I kind of need to respond to that. Maybe I don't if I double break Brazil. I think I need to do that at some point anyway to defend against realignments in the future. Okay, so he doesn't have war games. He doesn't necessarily have any great realignments if I give up Iran Contra now. The best one is probably Panama. Sure. I actually want him to realign me. So breaking Chile or Argentina results in realignments, obviously. Well, but is that even that bad? Yeah, it probably is. Let's just put ops into Cuba. Don't care about Ortega, absolutely not. Alright, 2 VPs are actually nice. A little bit further from war games. I mean, a little bit closer to being out of war games is actually the way to put it, I guess. Alright, he didn't make any use of Iran-Contra. That's of course a bit reasonable. I will event EU anyway. I think the value is good. Okay, this hand is actually a little better than all the previous hands. It still lacks ups, it's still not spectacular, but it has a good headline in terms of like Soviets. It has a brush war, which if it hits, that's of course great. It has Usuri to take back China if I use it. That's not a tragic hand. And I think Soviets is just an obviously good headline, but... So I will not be considering anything else. Oh yeah, of fucking course. You just happen to have the best USSR headline in the game, so... It's not great. I guess he's just discarding Usuri now, right? Unless it's Brush, but... I think he's just taking away Usuri, he forces me to play China. If he has terrorism, that's basically GG. I'm fine with coerce, so I will just take Cameroon and nothing else in Africa. Like, this is basically necessary. Maybe this is not necessary, maybe this is better. Like that. Sure, let's say. Yeah, so I'm giving up China now, at least, if I'm not dead on the spot because terrorism. Then I guess I'm spacing Latin. And eventing Brush, what for though? Libya is a good target, Nigeria is good, Italy is good, Argentina is good, Thailand is good. I would like to wait a little bit before brushing, if I get to use it at all. Because risk assessment looks like a crucial part of deciding the target for it. So I basically need to know if I need to use it in Italy to go for Europe or not. Not only that, but... Oh wait, okay, I'm just stupid. I'm just low IQ. I'm just not intelligent enough to play this game. I just realized that I didn't get Africa domination because I didn't take South Africa. I just assumed it's there. Well. I guess that's how you lose VPs for your own stupidity. Not much to add to this. Yeah. Interestingly enough, he didn't take Usuri away, so I guess I still get to play the game for no reason. It's just like so, this is incredible, right? I need 7 actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I get to keep playing the game. Unbelievable. Uh, to that? Actually? Maybe he doesn't have Muslim? Question mark? If he doesn't, then he just takes Libya like that. I get to event Regan bombs Libya for 2 VPs. That's great. And like with that happening, I basically don't get to lose to Lone Gunman. Oh, of course. Right? Because there are no more ways for him to discard any cards. He got all of them, used all of them. Lost his chance. If he didn't realize that I get to take the China card back with Yusuri, which is not necessarily true, but it's possible, I will try to keep my head low and not take the China card back, at least not instantly, like you see. I'll... because like, if he thinks that he has this game in the bag and I have to lose to Defcon, which is possible, it happens to the best of us. I kind of want him to think that he's safe and play carelessly. That would be the goal. His hand again just completely outpowers mine. It's not even fucking close. Okay, let's do it now since I still have some obligations. Unless I start with Aku. Maybe I start with Aku. Let's try to play along a little longer. He'll probably just answer to that with Aku himself. So there's probably nothing silly happening here. Alright. Now let's take it back. Of course, out of 3 scorings, he had the only good one for him. The only one that gets him to Wargames range. If I lose, I'm calling it, if I lose to Wargames, that was rigged. It was rigged if I lose to Wargames. If I lose this game to Wargames, it was rigged from the beginning. There's no fucking way. Sure, let's do that, I guess. Oh, man. He realized what happened. Okay, he's thinking about his move, which means that he may actually not have war games, which would be really appreciated, you know? Puppets, okay. After the move. Why didn't he let... what? Why didn't he let me resolve the event first? Okay. That's pretty weird. Set up realignments. Maybe in the future. Another one-up? Now Solidarity doesn't look that good anymore. Africa is already mine. Central is as well. So I could just go for Chile and Peru for final scoring. Or I could try realigning Nigeria. Huh. You didn't lose yet. Calm down, there, Przemek. Okay, let's say he doesn't get war games. So that would be like 8 for him, 9 because he's holding the China card, let's say. That kind of equalizes with Asia. Middle East will only get worse from here. So that's like at least 4 probably. That's 2, 3 for me. Okay, so the final scoring looks surprisingly good. So since I'm going for the final scoring here, I will just put my ops into Chile. Yeah, I think Peru is very correct. This is very correct, and I could probably just go for it. Yeah, I think this is right. So 1 to Chile and 1 to Chile or Peru. Let's go. Let's do Peru. And let's see. Okay, I didn't get war games, which sucks. But I got Central and Africa, which in fact doesn't suck. So I will immediately headline one of the scorings. Of fucking course I will. Okay, let's see. What am I expecting from him? Purge probably. Missile Envy maybe, but there's like nothing I can do about that. Both Purge and Missile Envy are like harmless when it comes to scorings. Junta, which is harmful in Central, but cannot really flip my domination. Cannot stop it. Can only break control. That's the most it can do. Cannot do anything in Africa. What if he gets Decol? Decol breaks Ethiopia, Cameroon, South, and takes Zimbabwe. That way he has Nigeria, Sudan, Zimbabwe, African, Southeast African states. That's 4. I have Angola, Zaire, Saharan, and Algeria. That's also 4. So Africa is broken by Decol, and Central is weakened but not broken by Junta. However, control is broken, of course. So if he breaks Central like that, then everything depends on the roll. In Africa, it's a really bad situation for me. So Central looks a bit better, I think. I could also... No, I cannot go for Latin American dev squads, right? Can he lower the defcon? Yeah, if he has Junta, he can lower the defcon in the headline phase, for sure. So I need to drop a scoring. Let's go Central. Brezhnev, okay. Brezhnev is scary, but at least it doesn't interact with my scoring. Muslim, of course, could be held to be used later with if he plays AWACS. Okay, fortunately that was not a great roll with another of his forbs. It just kind of looks like I should secure my ground in south. I would unfortunately need a playable free up to do that. But honestly, I could just go for Glasnost. I don't care about those 2 VPs now, and I can get another NORAD proc. Cool Nigeria, because that's an important country. Oh, fucking course! Okay, calm down. It probably doesn't matter. It probably shouldn't matter. I just needed anything but one though. But okay, it's fine. I can still drop Africa for like 6. Or I can even realign him if he doesn't like react to this. Now it should be easy if he has only 1 influence left there. So that's probably still okay. Decol of course stops it again, but it's not headline phase anymore. So. Oh, he gave up. Let's go. Oh my lord. Unbelievable game. I still don't believe what happened here. Brashware is the ultimate bait in this game. Like, in all possible senses and meanings. Holy Jesus. Okay. Wow. Well, I will be honest, I was pretty done with this game from the start. Like, I was kind of holding on to some hope, but after that Quagmire spree, I was pretty done. Oh man. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this game. And this was definitely not healthy for me. I will see you in the next one. Bye.